Hey guys, Nick Espinoza, your chief security fanatic here, and today is Black Friday, which kicks off the basically most aggressive retail shopping season in the United States for the entire year. And Black Friday obviously is the most bonkers of all of that. And so, one of the things that millions of Americans and millions of people worldwide purchase in the holiday season are TVs, smart TVs to be specific. And a lot of people don't realize that smart TVs can be privacy and security issues for your home. And so the FBI released 5 tips that I think every consumer should know if they have a smart TV, they're considering buying a smart TV, or definitely going to be pulling the trigger on a smart TV. And so with that, I present to you the 5 tips from the FBI on these things. So the first tip basically is to research the model number online for words like microphone, camera, and privacy, and figure out how to control those features. Obviously, if you have the ability to control those features, you might be able to make your TV more secure by simply just going into the menu and tapping a couple of buttons, if you will. Tip number 2, don't leave security settings on the default option, and change passwords if possible. That goes for any IoT device on the planet. Nobody should have their password as password, and a smart TV is no exception to that. It's also a good idea to check how to turn off microphones, cameras, and personal data collection ahead of making the purchase. A lot of times you can actually opt out of data collection or not use some of the smart TV enabled features that are going to be collecting data on you. The third piece of advice here is to cover the camera whenever possible. You can also do this oftentimes for the microphone. Now, you can buy specific covers online that will mold with your TV, or you can simply use a piece of black tape. If your TV has, let's say, black trim, it will a little bit of tape. You'll barely see it, if anything. And if somebody gets into that camera and turns it on, all they will see is black. The fourth tip is check whether the manufacturer can and whether it does update the device with security patches. Now, this is actually a rather important one. One of the major reasons why we actually update products, software and hardware, is because vulnerabilities are found and the manufacturers are releasing updates for these. And so if your television is made by one of the larger manufacturers on the planet, usually like the Samsungs and the Sonys, they're pretty decent at updating these things with some frequency. If you are buying a less expensive smart TV, oftentimes the manufacturers are not actually they're not actually updating these things with the frequency. If ever, some smart TVs, especially in the most basic and cheapest level, simply just cannot get updates from the manufacturer. I've seen this on multiple models, in the past, and that obviously is a very serious issue because vulnerabilities will inevitably creep up in your television that is connected to the internet, and now you don't have any way to defend yourself by updating and closing those holes. And finally, our last tip here is check the privacy policy for the manufacturer and the streaming services you're going to be using. That's Netflix, Hulu, etc. Basically, including what data they collect, how they store it, and what they do with it. We don't have a lot of recourse here in the United States on data collection. We are a little bit behind on that. The state of California is looking to change that, but in Europe, where the GDPR is, you should know exactly what your TV does. And you should know that here in the United States as well, because these things are collecting data on you left and right. We know that major manufacturers like Samsung and Sony out there are collaborating with the Netflixes of the world and basically selling your habits and your ways of using your television to advertisers, to these organizations, to boost their sales, but also make it more intuitive for you. That obviously can potentially violate your privacy. And so those are your 5 tips for buying a smart TV this season. Please make sure that you are following these things, because quite frankly, I don't want to see anybody out here with privacy violations, or God forbid getting hacked because their password was password, or they couldn't update their TV, or they didn't know how to turn off features that are very easily turn offable. When I bought a smart TV last year, that's the very first thing I did, and here we are. So hopefully my smart TV is a little more secure. And with that, I hope everybody has a happy holiday season, and I hope you didn't go nuts on Black Friday and stampede some mall, because I know that usually happens. So with that, that is your news of the day. And please like, share, follow me here on Facebook and Twitter at NickAESP, and please feel free to subscribe to me at YouTube as well. And as always, stay safe and stay online. Thanks, guys.